So we're beginning a new series of paintings. So we'll be starting with underpaintings. I have reference photos for these. So, all right. So we're going to start with the underpainting portion, which means we'll be doing a lot of brushing and Q-tipping with burnt umber and some liquid clear. I don't think I want to use these cups. I think I'll just use it. One thing to use for a really nice disposable little palette are these little dinner plates or little snack plates or whatever the heck kind of plates they are. So got some liquid clear. I think I'll just put this on with a fan brush today. See how that works out. I've done it with a fan brush before. I usually use a flat, but I just thought I'd try this just because I want to try it. I'm always trying new stuff, so. If you watched me do this before, you know that we put 3 coats of gesso on this canvas, and then we have applied the sketch, and then we put a coat of Fix-It on it to hopefully keep the sketch on there when I put this paint over it. Now this paint is just burnt umber diluted with linseed oil or any kind of clear medium you'd like to use. It doesn't matter. And I think this time I'll paint the edges. I don't usually do that, but you know, I got paint, so I got enough paint. Let's just do it just for the heck of it. Who knows? Maybe this will come out and be a masterpiece and somebody will want to do some hanging on the wall without a frame or something. I don't know. All right. Enough of that. So we'll give that just a second to set up. Not much time. We don't need to give much time. So we'll just clean the fan brush. Odorless mineral spirits. Now, I don't want to carry this linseed oil back up to the canvas as I'm painting later, so I'm just going to wipe it off of the palette. And then let's start wiping this back. Paper's always strongest at the perforation. It's always been true. I don't know why it's true, but all right. Let's see how oh yeah, that sketch is going to stay on there just fine. Hello, young lady. Come on out and see me. This is an 8x10. I just thought I'd try this in a small format, this particular painting, and if I like it, it's just kind of, then I'll try to blow it up maybe into a bigger sketch. We'll go from there. Alright. For some reason, that particular position aggravates my sore arm. Alright, so now, the rest of this, we're going to want to work on the highlights and darks for this. Then we'll let it dry, and then we'll start applying the colors. So, I'm going to have a dark background, so I don't need to apply that too much just yet. But looking at the reference photo, we're going to have all of this on her forehead is going to be light, all the way up to her eyebrow. And I'm sure if Marion was doing this, she would have a real cool way to do that with like her finger on a paper towel. But I'm not that talented. Now we're going to kind of slowly take some of this off. But this part over here is going to be super bright. All right. We're going to continue with this light down the side of her face. That's some up under her eyelid. Down the edge of her nose. There's a little bit of shadow under her eye like that. And then this light is going to fade almost completely. Now there's a little bit of shadow right here coming off of her nose. It's kind of weird. Well, it's not weird, but so I'm beginning to do more of these. I'm beginning to pick up, like, without having to look at reference photos so much. Once I start, I kind of have an idea of where everything ought to be going. All right. We're just going to smooth this out a little bit, this color. All right. Now, this side of her face is going to be kind of shadowed, but it's going to be we're just cleaning this up right around. All right. Well, she's also got probably didn't need to do that with my finger, but all right. Okay. Now there's more here that. All right. Her hair hair's going to be falling across her dress. Her dress is right here, is looking just fine. Somehow I got white paint all over my hands. I have no white paint on the palette. I have no white paint on the brush, and somehow I still ended up with white paint all over my fingers. You figure it out, because I don't know. Okay, now, the background, we're going to work on this some more in a minute. I'm just going to let that set up a little bit more. This part of the background is going to be just a little bit lighter than the other side. It's going to be a little more dark. So let's just kind of blend that out. And that's going to be, that'll do it. That'll pretty much do it. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can use this stuff. I just want to smooth some of my Q-tip strokes out. There we go. That's better. Okay. Okay. Let's do the fine line stuff. I'll start doing the fine line stuff. So to do that, I'm going to use an angle brush. I'm just going to use a flat. I may yet use a flat, but first I'm going to start with an angle brush. We're going to start off doing her I think, well, this will be interesting because it's so much smaller than what I usually do. We're just using the very tip of this angle brush to lay this fine line stuff in. You could probably do this with a script liner if you wanted to. I don't want to. This is a Princeton brush. I really like their brushes. I have several different ones. Now I will tell you, I'm hard on brushes as far as performance. As much as I tried, I don't seem to take as good care of them as some people do, or whatever. I don't know. They don't seem to last me as long as other people. Maybe because I paint so much. I don't know. On average, I paint about 100 paintings a year, which is quite a bit more than most of the people I know. So, I don't know. Maybe I just wear them out faster. All my brushes, I take real good care of them, but I don't know. Maybe I don't take good enough care of them. All right. I'm going to put a little bit more of this in, and then we're going to start blending this. We're going to clean this brush, I think, probably, and just blend it. I'll probably blend it with a fan brush. Yeah, I thought I wanted to do that. Okay, now up here. Now I'm just adding the shadows in. Her hair is going to be really dark. I'm kind of just reminding myself of the allowing the sketch to kind of dictate where this hair goes, but keeping the brush relatively loose. This is where her part is right here, so. When I was sketching it, I was like, I don't know. Fine line work with my right hand is not a specialty, but it's something I wanted to try this time. I'm left-handed, I'm a southpaw, so, you know. So I don't really need a lot of paint in this part, really. Just kind of adding the shadows for her hair. She got quite a head of hair, actually. All right, and then it's going to come around from under her chin. All right. Okay, for just a second, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush just to see if I can make this lay in here the way that I want it to. I don't know if I can or not. Well, I know I can do it. I just don't know if I can do it with this brush. We'll find out in a second. I don't think so. Not with that brush, anyway. All right, so let's find something that works a little better. All right, so I'm going to use this tiny little brush. We'll try that. Problem with these tiny little brushes, the good thing is they're really, really tiny. And the bad thing about them is they don't hold much paint because they're really, really tiny. Okay. So I'm going to take this other angle brush and I'm going to use this to blend and move some paint around. In particular around this eye. Okay, that's right. All right, we're going to let that sit for just a second and kind of think about that. Sometimes it's good to don't push forward too fast. So this makes me kind of slow down this blending. I don't want to blend too much down here. Just barely touching this. I don't want to lose all that brush work. All right. Okay. I'm happy with that for now. Let's go back to this. And there is the highlight on those eyes. I'm going to have to go back and we use a brush to take that off, the paint back off. But this is getting tough. All right, got a little too much paint there. That's okay. I'll just use a Q-tip. Push it back. Here we go. Okay. Now we'll fix it. What happened was I slid the brush instead of just pulling it. I slid it. I did the same thing again, but that's okay. We can fix it. And pull it right off. There we go. Now her eyelashes are not, we're going to kind of scrumble them on because they're not really a sticky part sticking out too far. In other words, she doesn't have very long eyelashes. Okay, that's how I took her eyelashes a little too far that time. Here we go. Okay. Wow, man. Got a little bit of darkness. This is just going to be a matter of shadowing here. So I've got all of that. There's actually a little bit of extra shadow like that there. Come here, Q-tip. Okay, that's working out pretty good. And then, let's see, right under here, I'm just going to put a reminder that her ear is right there for myself later. And we've got some shadow here. Oh my goodness, that's enough. Let's paint with the end of the brush. It has paint on it. We're painting just with the very tip of this brush. They're putting tiny little amounts of paint on here. Now I'll tell you what, I'll do with that blending brush. I guess I'll put it away. Now we've got too many things in my hand. All right, that's what we've got. All right, let's see. So we got a little bit of shadow right here. All right. And then we'll add to her lips. Now, I'm going to wipe this brush off. And I just want to making some minor, just very super minor changes here. It seems like, yeah, there should be a little bit of shadow right here. Not much, just a little bit. Here we go. Now, and then we've got some shadow here on her mouth. Now, I think I might have, I don't think I did her mouth quite right. It's almost right. I think I missed a spot. Yeah, I can see it now. All right, that's okay. We'll fix it. And then we need to add a little bit of, I don't know what I was going to say. Something. I'm sure I was going to say something. It's one of these poor little painter girl. She has to put up with my ADD. She we'll be talking and all right. In the middle of the conversation, I'll forget what I was talking about. All right. Get some color on this side. All right, almost done here with this part. Okay. All right. Let's add the final darks and the final lights. We'll be good with this. So let's add the final lights first. So final lights, this part up here is going to be bright. And the side of her face is going to be bright. Okay, then we've got, put those down. I don't need this. Let me clean this brush. I'm going to clean this brush and I'm going to wipe it out really good a couple times. All right, let's add So what we're going to do, we'll do this with a flat. Take a little bit of linseed oil. I'm going to tap it out because I don't want much. And right here we're going to lift some paint off of the thing. Now, in the eyes, those two things have to match on both sides. All right. Now let's add the final dark for her pupils. Okay, then other than that, I think all I need to do now, I want to smooth some lines. So I'm going to try to do that with a Q-tip, but I don't think that's going to work. But we're going to give it a spin. Okay, that looks pretty good. Actually, that looks, now it doesn't look pretty good, but it did look pretty good for about 3 seconds. All right, let me clean this brush. Let's just redo it. Let's just redo it. Okay. This part, I don't really need to do too much with that. Before we get done, though, with the whole painting, my intent is for the back part to be actually, even though her hair is going to be kind of a brownish black, I want to let me make this still a little bit darker. So I think I'll do that with the first color. So I'll darken this part, and then this part, even though this part's going to be hers going to be dark, the rest of this is going to be even darker. Now I got to just do a little bit of hair trimming from when I just now did that little wipe thing, but it shouldn't take much. It shouldn't take much. Although this is not the brush I was using, is it? All right. Okay. I think that'll be it for the underpainting. Let me look at this one more time before I do that. Okay. I'm good with that. So we're going to let this dry. Hopefully by tomorrow it'll be dry. Now we've got another one of these to do that is a little boy. So just thought I'd try one of each. I mean, why not? Right? So, all right. So we will come back tomorrow or the next day, whenever this is dry, and we'll give this a spin. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.